Bimolecular elimination reaction. Bimolecular elimination reaction. In the last class, we completed unimolecular elimination reaction. Today, bimolecular elimination reaction E2. We will discuss what is E2 and what is the difference between E1 and E2 today. Bimolecular elimination reaction E2. E2. Any doubt? If you have any doubt in E1, you just check my previous videos. Let's start with one example. 2-bromopropane. Take an example of 2-bromopropane. For E2 reaction, this is 2-bromopropane. When reacts with a strong base. In case of E1 reaction, weak base required. Here, in case of E2, strong base required. Strong base like alcoholic KOH. What are the strong bases that are involved in E2? We'll make a list in factors affecting E2 reaction. So here, the product obtained is propene. The product obtained is propene, but the mechanism is completely different when compared to E1 reaction. This is the product obtained plus hydrobromic acid. So dehydrohalogenation is generally taking place here. High temperature is required for elimination reaction. Otherwise, substitution reactions will take place. One important point we need to remember in E2 reaction is, what is happening here? KOH means OH minus, that will abstract a proton. Even if you see the reaction of 2-bromopropane at high temperature with water or methanol, that will also give propene, but the mechanism is E1. Here strong base is involved. This is not E1, this is E2 reaction. Let's see the difference between E1 and E2. In case of E2, a strong base OH minus, that will abstract a proton. Here there is no intermediate form, no carbocation is formed. It's a single step reaction. See the important point. So this is bromo at second position, this is alpha position. There are two beta positions. This is beta carbon and this is also beta carbon. For this example, both beta carbons are same. So a base can abstract a hydrogen either of the beta carbons, since the both beta carbons are same. Let us say a base abstract a beta hydrogen at this beta carbon. Okay, base abstract a proton. So at this beta carbon, 3 hydrogens are present. Among these 3 hydrogens, base abstract only 1 hydrogen. Which hydrogen will be abstracted by the base? Let's say, suppose if this hydrogen is, we are trying to abstract this hydrogen, means here there are lone pair of electrons on bromine and it is a lone pair, negatively charged. So if it is abstracting a proton at this place, there is some interactions, okay, lone pair interactions with this bromine. Okay, this base is facing some lone pair interactions with this bromine. That's why it won't abstract a proton so near to bromine. Even here also it is trying to abstract a proton at this position. Still it is near to here, near to bromine. Here also some lone pair interactions will be available. Whereas if it is abstract a proton from here, this is far away from bromine, there are no lone pair interactions, then so it is easy to abstract a proton which is opposite to bromine. Okay, always remember in E2 elimination, base abstract a proton at beta carbon which is opposite to bromo. A base abstract a proton at beta carbon which is opposite to the bromo. Okay, the hydrogen which is opposite direction with respect to the bromo on beta carbon, that will be abstracted by a base. That's why it is anti-elimination. Why it is anti-elimination means, base abstract a proton on beta carbon which is opposite to bromo, and it is a dehydrohalogenation reaction. Dehydrohalogenation reaction. We will see the mechanism why it is E2 and why not it is E1. You see the experimental data. From the experimental data, let us say this is substrate, starting material 2-bromo-propane is a substrate, and this is a strong base. Alcoholic KOH is a strong base. From the experimental data, there are two graphs which were plotted between the rate of reaction with respect to the substrate. The first graph is a first graph plotted between rate of reaction with respect to the concentration of the substrate. Substrate was taken on x-axis and the rate of reaction was taken on y-axis. From the experimental data, if substrate concentration increased, rate will increase. If substrate concentration increase, rate will increase. Okay. So it is like this. If you increase the concentration of the substrate, rate will increase. That means rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate. One more graph was plotted with respect to the rate of reaction and the concentration of the strong base. One more graph was plotted. This is from the experimental data. Strong base was taken along the x-axis and rate of reaction was taken along the y-axis. From this graph, if you increase the concentration of the base, rate will increase. If you increase the concentration of the strong base, rate will increase. Okay. So finally, a graph is like this. So from this graph, the information is, if you increase the concentration of the strong base, rate of the reaction is increasing. So from these two graphs, the conclusion is, so rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate as well as the concentration of the strong base. Okay, this is from the experimental data. From the experimental data, rate of reaction depends on the concentration of the substrate as well as the concentration of the strong base. This is a rate equation. In rate equation, two molecules are involved. In rate equation, two molecules are involved. One is the substrate as well as the strong base. Since two molecules are involved, so this is one and this one, that's one. This is a second order reaction. Example of second order kinetics. Second order means bimolecular, and it is a elimination reaction. That's why bimolecular elimination reaction. Why it is bimolecular means, in rate equation, two molecules involved. Simply we can call it as E2. E means elimination, 2 means bimolecule. Why bimolecular means, in rate equation two molecules are involved. Why two molecules are involved in the rate equation means, from the experimental data, rate of reaction is depends on the concentration of the substrate as well as the concentration of the strong base. So if you double the concentration of the substrate, rate will double. If you double the concentration of the strong base, rate will double. So suppose if you double this one double and the strong substrate increase to double and strong base increase to double, rate increase to the 4 times. Why? Because rate is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate and the concentration of the strong base. And this is the only first one step involved, and the first step is the slow step, that is the rate determining step. In the rate determining step, substrate as well as the strong base involved in the reaction. Clear? Right. Now we will discuss the mechanism of E2 reaction. So take a subheading, mechanism. Mechanism for E2 reaction. Mechanism for E2 reaction. Let's see how it is different from E1 reaction. Take the same example, 2-bromopropane, 2-bromopropane when reacts with the strong base required for E2 elimination. So it's a, generally it is a single step, but we can write in 2 steps. Okay, actually it is single step reaction. First step, only single step only. alcoholic KOH, this is a strong base. As I explained, high temperature is required. The OH minus will abstract a proton which is on beta carbon, which is opposite to bromo on alpha. Okay, strong base will abstract a hydrogen on beta carbon which is opposite to bromo. That's why it is anti-elimination. During this elimination, one transition state is formed. It is not possible to isolate this transition state. It is not possible to isolate the transition state. Let's see the transition state. What is the transition state here? So as soon as this hydrogen is abstracted with this strong base, so there is a weak bond between carbon and hydrogen, and there is a weak bond between strong base and this particular hydrogen which is opposite to bromo. And there is a partial double bond between alpha and beta carbon, and this bond also weak bond. Okay, this is the transition state. It is obtained in the reaction mixture. It is not possible to isolate this one. This is the transition state. The lifetime is very less, 10 power minus 6 seconds. After that, at high temperature, in presence of this alcoholic KOH, strong base, that is immediately gets converted into the propene. Propene. CH double bond C. I will write like CH. Okay. CH. Propene. This is propene. Propene, preparation of propene from 2-bromopropene in presence of the alcoholic KOH, strong base at high temperature. It is an example of E2. Why? Because the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the substrate concentration as well as the alcoholic KOH. No intermediate is formed. Transition state is formed. Actually, this is a single step. Okay, just we wrote in the 2 step to understand the transition state. So this is the slow step and this is the rate determining step. So this is the mechanism. One important point is anti-elimination. Anti-elimination is taking place. Base abstract a proton on beta carbon which is opposite to the bromine. Now we will see some important factors affecting the E2 reaction. Factors affecting E2 elimination reaction. First point, so as we discussed, it's a single step reaction and first step is the rate determining step and rate of reaction is directly proportional to the substrate concentration as well as the strong base, concentration of the strong base. Rate of reaction is directly proportional to the concentration of the substrate as well as the concentration of the strong base. Coming to the substrates, which substrates will generally undergo E2 reaction? So, generally alkyl halides will readily undergo E2 elimination reaction. If the transition state is stable, those compounds will readily undergo E2 elimination reaction. If the transition state is stable, so when the transition state is stable, if the alkyl halide is bulk, okay, so if the alkyl halide is bulky, okay, then the transition state is stable. When the alkyl halide is bulk means if the alkyl halide is, let us say alkyl halide, if the alkyl halide is tertiary, that will readily undergo E2 reaction. Then secondary alkyl halide, the least is a primary alkyl halide. So one important point, very important point, in case of SN1, tertiary alkyl halide readily undergo SN1, then secondary, then primary. In case of E1, in E1 also carbocation is formed, so tertiary alkyl halides will readily give strong carbocation, that's why tertiary will readily undergo E1 reaction. In E2 also same, tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. Okay, only in case of SN2 only primary is readily react with SN2 reaction and tertiary is least. Okay. In case of SN1, E1 and E2, tertiary alkyl halides will readily undergo. Whereas in SN2 only, primary alkyl halides will undergo substitution reaction. coming to the base, so always strong base is required. Why strong base means, in case of weak base cannot abstract a proton at beta carbon. As a result, since it won't abstract here, slowly the CBr bond will break, carbocation is formed, it will lead to two steps. Okay, so since carbocation is formed in case of weak base, that is not E2, that is E1 reaction. So since weak base cannot abstract a proton at beta carbon in the first step, weak base will not favor E2 reaction, only strong base favors E2 reaction. The strong base generally used is RO minus, methoxide, tertiary butoxide, like sodium methoxide, potassium tertiary butoxide, sodium tertiary butoxide, sodamide in liquid ammonia, LDA, lydium diisopropylamide, triethylamine. Okay, I will write the structures for this one. Okay, so these are the strong bases generally involved. Alcoholic KOH, alcoholic NaOH, alcoholic KOH, and alcoholic NaOH. I will write here alcoholic NaOH. These are the strong base generally used in E2 reaction. Temperature, high temperature is required. Otherwise, if it is low temperature, substitution reaction will take place. Always high temperature is required. Okay, and also, so delta H, endothermic reaction, delta H is greater than 0. The last important point, solvent, always polar aprotic solvents required. So what are polar aprotic solvent? Acetone, acetonitrile, DMF, DMA. Acetone, acetonitrile, DMF, DMA, DMSO, these are the polar aprotic solvent. What will happen if you use polar aprotic solvents means, if you use polar aprotic solvent, that polar aprotic solvent stabilizes the strong base, hence it will not abstract a proton here. That's why always we need to use polar aprotic solvents like acetonitrile, DMF, DMA, dimethyl acetamide, DMSO, and acetone. These are the polar aprotic solvent. Okay, so these are the factors affecting E2 reaction. Now we will solve some important problems in E2 reactions. Okay, first example, ethyl bromide reacts with alcoholic KOH. Since it is a strong base, definitely this is E2 reaction, it's not E1, no carbocation is formed. Since there is no carbocation, there is no rearrangement generally in E2 reaction. So this is a alpha carbon, beta carbon, only one beta carbon is there. There is simple example. So base can abstract a proton on beta carbon, okay, which is anti to bromo. So simple example, I will write the product directly. CH2 double bond CH2, ethene will be obtained. Second example, okay, 2-bromobutane, alpha carbon. Here 2 beta carbons are there. In the first example, only 1 beta carbon, 1 product. Directly we have written. Here 2 beta carbons are there. In that case, so strong base can abstract a proton either at this beta or this beta. So to differentiate, we will write beta dash, beta prime. Suppose if a base abstract a proton here at beta, then the product obtained is CH3, CH, double bond, CH, CH3. Right. If base abstract a proton at beta prime, so I will write here plus, so suppose if base abstract, so this is alpha beta elimination. If base abstract a proton at beta prime, then the product obtained is CH3, CH2, CH, double bond CH2. Among these two possible products, why? Because since 2 beta carbons are there, 2 possible products are formed. Among these two, which is major and which is minor? To know this, so this is a double bond. On double bond, only one substitution is there. Here on this double bond, 2 sides substitutions is there. So the one which is more substituted means more stable according to Sergeff rule. Here only 2 alpha hydrogens are there, that means 2 hyperconjugated structures are possible. Definitely this is a minor product and this is a half-mon product. minor half Mon product. Whereas here this is a, how many alpha hydrogens are there? 6 alpha hydrogens are there. Definitely it is a stable compound and it is a ZF product. It is a major product and it is a ZF product. ZF product. Since the reaction is at high temperature, this is 2-butene, 1-butene. 2-butene has two geometrical isomers, cis-2-butene and trans-2-butene. At high temperature, cis isomer is not exist. Cis isomers will exist only at low temperature. Since we are running at high temperature, only trans isomer is possible here. Since we are running the reaction at high temperature, always trans isomer is the major product. Even though cis two geometrical isomers are possible for cis-2-butene, but the major product is a trans product, not cis product. Cis will not stable at high temperature. So whenever cis and trans are possible for a more stable compound, always try to write major product as a trans isomer. So now coming to the third example, alpha position, beta position. So with respect to bromo, only one beta carbon is there. Definitely one product is possible here, CH3. So there is no other option here, only one product is possible. Base abstract a proton, so COCH3. So this will abstract a proton at a beta carbon. As a result, we will get this one isobutene as a product. Clear? Bromo alpha carbon at beta. So there are two beta carbons are there here. Two beta carbons are there. So what is this? 2,3-dimethyl 2-bromo-butane. 2,3-dimethyl 2-bromo-butane. Two beta carbons are there. To differentiate, let us say this is beta prime. Since these two beta carbons are there, base can abstract a proton either at this beta carbon or this beta carbon. Two products are possible. Since it is a strong base, definitely it is a E2 elimination reaction. We will write first the product. So first a base, suppose let us assume if base abstract a proton at beta prime, then the product obtained is CH3, C, CH3, double bond, C, CH3 and CH3. This is a product that is obtained when base abstract between alpha and beta prime carbon, and the other isomer is, suppose if base abstract a proton at beta carbon. So this is also beta, this is also beta, we can write only one beta. Then CH3 carbon, CH3 hydrogen, then C. Okay, so if base abstract a proton here, let us say CH2 and CH3. This is the product obtained. So this is between alpha comma beta, alpha beta elimination, where this first one is alpha beta prime elimination. Among these two products, which is major and which is minor? On this double bond, so two side substitutions are there. Total 3 plus 1, 4 alpha hydrogens are available here. 4 hyperconjugated structures are possible here. So on this double bond, 4 side substitutions, more substitutions are there. So 3 plus 3 plus 3, so 12 alpha hydrogens are there. That means this is more stable and this is less stable. Since less stable, this is the minor product. Less stable, that means half Mon product and it is a minor. Whereas more stable, this one, this is a major product, this is a ZF product. ZF product is the more stable and major product, ZF product. So coming to the next example here. So here what is this? 1, 2, 3. Okay. 2,2-dimethyl bromopropane. Okay, 1 bromopropane, 2,2-dimethyl, 1 bromopropane. Here, so since it is a strong base alcoholic KOH, it is expected to undergo E2 elimination. But there is no product obtained here. Why there is no product obtained means, we see what is the mechanism in E2 reaction. Base abstract a proton, OH minus has to abstract a proton at beta carbon. This is alpha carbon and beta carbon. So base has to abstract a proton at all beta carbon. On beta carbon, there are no hydrogens are available. No hydrogen is available. Since there is no hydrogen is available, so base cannot pick up a proton, and then there is no product is obtained here. And coming to the sixth example, what is this one? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 chloro, 3 methyl butane. So here also alpha carbon, 2 beta carbons are there. That means 2 possible products are possible. To differentiate, you can assume that a beta prime. Let's say suppose if the elimination between alpha and beta, the product obtained is CH2, double bond, CH, CH, CH3 and CH3. This is for the alpha comma beta elimination, alpha and beta. So one more beta is there, that is beta prime. The expected product is CH3, CH, double bond, C, CH3 and CH3. So this hydrogen is abstract with a strong base OET minus. OET minus, if it is abstract here, alpha beta prime product will be obtained. Among these two products, which is major? So on this double bond, only one side substitution is there. On this double bond, 3 side substitution is there. And 3 plus 3 plus 3, 9 alpha hydrogen, that means a stable ZF product. This is the major product. Whereas here, how many alpha hydrogens are? Only one alpha hydrogen is there. Less stable, minor. This is less stable and it is the minor product. Now next example, cyclohexyl isopropyl chloro compound. So strong base, that means it is definitely E2 elimination. So here this is alpha carbon. So the beta, these two betas are same. You can write it as a beta. These two are same. And one more beta hydrogen is also available, beta prime. Since these two beta carbons are available, 2 types of products are possible. Among these two products, which is major? Let's see, first write beta prime with respect to the beta prime. Then the product obtained is the base abstract a proton here. Then we will get a double bond here, CH3 and the CH3. Okay, this is because of the alpha beta prime elimination. The other possible product is if base abstract a proton at beta carbon, then the product obtained is cyclohexyl group. I will write like this. Okay, so double bond CH2 and CH3. If base abstract a proton here, we will get a double bond between these two protons, methyl and this one. Okay, so this is because of the alpha beta elimination, alpha beta prime elimination. Among these two products, which is major and which is minor? On this double bond, 2 substitutions are there. On this double bond, 4 side substitutions are there. See, write the number of alpha hydrogen, 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. So 6 plus 4. 10 alpha hydrogens are there. That means 10 hyperconjugated structures are possible here. Here only 1 plus 3, 4 alpha hydrogens are there. That means 4 hyperconjugated structures are possible. Definitely this is less stable. That means this is a minor compound. This is a minor product. So this is a major, so more stable. So major product. Major product, why? Because it is a more stable. 10 hyperconjugative structures are possible. Since it is a more stable, it is a ZF product. This is ZF product. Whereas the other one is a Hoffman's product. ZF product. Coming to the 8th example, cyclohexyl methyl bromide. So this is alpha carbon, it is a beta carbon. Since only one beta carbon is there, so OH minus will abstract a proton opposite side with respect to the bromo on beta carbon. So since only one beta position is there, we will get only one product here. This is the product obtained here. Only one beta carbon, only one product. Coming to the last example. So here this is a cyclohexyl isopropyl group. So here also, so beta compound, beta carbon. So these two betas are same and this is a beta prime. 2 types of beta carbons are there. Definitely there is expected to be 2 elimination products are possible. So since it is a strong base, it is a E2 elimination reaction. The C first we will write with respect to this beta carbon. Then the product obtained is there is a, so suppose if base subtract, so ethoxide ETO minus subtract a proton here, we will get a double bond here. Then the remaining is CH3 and isopropyl group. This is because of the alpha beta elimination. So other possible product is if a base subtract another beta prime carbon, then the product obtained is this one. So since the base subtract a proton here, we will get a double bond here. So methyl group and methyl group. Among these two products, which is major and which is minor. So this is because of the alpha beta prime elimination. On this double bond, three sides substitution is there. On this 4 sides substitution is there. So how many alpha hydrogens are? 2 plus 2 plus 1. So 5 alpha hydrogens are there, means 5 hyperconjugated structures are possible. Here 3 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. So 10 alpha hydrogens are there, 10 hyperconjugated structures are possible. Definitely this is more stable. That's why this is a major product. So major product means it's a ZF product. ZF product. Whereas here this is a less stable compound, since only less number of alpha hydrogens when compared to the other product. Definitely this is a minor compound. Minor means Hoffman product. Okay. So this is about E2 elimination. So far we discussed the simple examples. Okay. There is no complicated examples so far we discussed. We discussed only simple examples. So in the next class we will discuss applications. Okay. Important applications that are taking place, anti-eliminations. Okay. So and some exceptions are also there in E2 elimination. We will discuss in the next class. So this is about today's class. Read well. All the very best. Thank you.